Welcome to the Real Estate Investment Nomad podcast. I am your host, Nathaly Salas, an international real estate expert. Join me as we explore the thrilling world of global real estate. We'll uncover diverse international markets, backed by solid data and engaging insights. Each episode features expert guests from the hottest markets, providing you with the knowledge to invest wisely and successfully. Whether you are a local realtor aiming to go global or an investor curious about international opportunities, this is the podcast for you. Get ready to transform your approach and achieve global real estate success to become a real estate investment nomad.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien. Welcome to Real Estate Investment Nomad podcast.
Yes.
We're here with Daniel Eng, and we're super excited to talk to you in person. We met last year. We've seen each other for many conferences that we've been so far.
And now we're partnered up.
Yes,
which
now
is
we're
great.
partnered up, and we'll tell you more about that in a bit. Stay all the way to the end so you can see. I would love to showcase Daniel's story because he doesn't talk too much about that. And we have similar stories that I think makes us, more human and connect in a different way that we sometimes, work is amazing, but, we're all human.
Agree. It's about the human connectivity that we are, in our business. It's all about helping each other and connecting. So, yeah, I'm excited.
So I wanted to just first introduce yourself, please, where you're from, and then I would love to share a little more about you, from the beginning, and then we can connect with real estate because we want to talk about commercial real estate as well as residential in the U.S. But I want to connect first on who you are.
You want the long story, short story?
The medium, whatever you want. We have some time. We have time.
So, yeah, my parents are originally from Hong Kong, and my dad came into the U.S. in 1956. But, even before that, from my mother's side, my great-grandfather came to the U.S. to do the railroads back in the late 1800s. So we have, ancestors that are, serving and helping in this country. And being, born in the U.S., but understanding your roots, I think is very important for me. Just growing up in Dallas, was born there, and early on was in the real estate industry because my parents were in real estate. So luckily enough, I was exposed to that at an early age. Went to school in Switzerland. I studied banking and finance, and so I studied banking and finance. That's why I have a lot of roots back in Europe. We are in Barcelona right now, which is great. And just to reconnect with a lot of my classmates is really important, right? Because, you go off to school, everyone does their own thing. But if you don't have that reconnection, those reunions and figuring out how to help each other in life. And that's why, coming here and reconnecting, I'm going to Turkey also. So I'm reconnecting with a couple of I haven't seen them for 20-25 years. So it'd be good to reconnect. But going back to my story, early on, my father, after college, my father was kind of teaching me the ropes. And then unfortunately, he had a severe stroke in 2006. And that really set me back just personally because my dad was my rock. He was my foundation.
How old were you?
I was about 24, 25. I just had my first child in 2005. And then my daughter just turned 1. It was actually right before her birthday because my daughter's September 1st. I remember it was in August. We got a phone call. He was traveling, and he was in China traveling. And, immediately next day, hopped on a plane. But I couldn't go to the hospital in China because I didn't have my visa. So I was at the, trying to get my China visa right away. So just all that. And, but, unfortunately, Dad was half paralyzed and he lost his speech. For those that know my father, he was, a caring person. He liked to talk. He liked to connect with people. He liked to cook. So he was every Sunday, I remember growing up, we would go to the farmer's market to buy vegetables and meat. And we would cook for the church on Sunday morning. And that's how he served, and he enjoyed that. He enjoyed feeding people. And I think now I'm getting those same things because I feed my team. I do these barbecue events, and my mom saw some pictures and some videos. She goes that I remind her of Dad and stuff like that. So it's just little things like that. I just know that we're part of, our parents that bring us to this world. And, I'm just fortunate that, both my parents are together and, they loved us. And, I lost my older brother about 7-8 years ago through cancer, and just a lot of things in life that really makes you think about life, right? It's not about just making money all the time. And, that's important to make money to support your family. But, when things hit you in that personal aspect, you got to take a step back, and because we all have a timeline here.
Yeah.
And, the more I get older, it's like, how can I be a better impact in society? How can I connect with more people to do more? And, fortunately, a lot of people who have real estate, they get lazy. They just have the income coming in, passive income. And what happens to the children? They get lazy, and you get the cycle. So how do you stop that cycle? You got to work hard. So I'm doing the same thing where, my parents worked hard. I'm working hard. I hope to instill that same thing with my kids, so they continue that. Because in the Chinese saying, after the third generation, the empire falls, kind of. So how do you stop the empire from falling? Is instill good hard work, plan ahead, but at the same time is let the children kind of, do their thing. But at the same time is just give them some guidance, not like force them on, you got to be this, so.
I think now it's more slightly laid back on that. Before, I know in the 80s or 70s, your parents will tell you what to do, what to study.
Yes.
And now it's more like, more freedom. And maybe, going back to your dad, and, that was almost 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's been a journey. He's still alive?
He's still alive. Mom's taking care of him. I help dad shower, my brother and I. So my other brother.
Does he walk and move?
He's able to stand up a little bit, but his mobility is not there.
He shakes and
it's unstable. Yeah, it's unstable. And as he's getting older, he's already 89. He'll be 90 next year, and just fortunate to have him for so long. And it was a miracle for him to actually be alive. And now he's just enjoying his rest of his life. He sees his grandchildren, and
is he cognitively okay? He recognizes.
He understands everything. Yeah. So he's very,
it's physically, that's
like if I'm going somewhere or we go to look at the properties, he knows, what it is and all that. And, we sold a property recently. He goes, why did I sell? Because he would always say, don't sell the property, just refinance it, buy another property.
Yeah.
But this, I told him why we did that, and, he understands. So.
No, it's difficult because, you were 24, 5, and I feel like at the same time, that happened to me when I was 24, 25, probably 4 years later than yours, my mom had exactly the same scenario happening. And sometimes we don't stop and think that life is too short. And we say it just to say it sometimes, but it is truly very short.
Yeah.
And to me, the message that my mom left me, let's say, she's still alive and we still care for her. So I totally relate with what you're saying. Because it's a responsibility. You're not the oldest, you say you're old.
Yeah, I'm the youngest out of 3 sons. My older brother passed, and then Parker is a 9. So my 2 older brothers are about 9-10 years older than me. So I'm like the love child, the love child of the baby. And yes, I was a spoiled one growing up. But yes.
But life wakes you up very quickly when
it does.
Experiences.
It does.
Regardless of how you grew up, sometimes we just. Something like this has to happen, like for at least for me to wake up. And to me, the message was like, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know if you're going to be able to walk tomorrow. So just do the best you can today, because time is not promised. There's so many things that can happen these days.
Yes.
There's the world is going crazy right now.
Yeah, a lot of things, in this world. And, I think sometimes in the U.S., for me personally, sometimes we're sheltered. Yes, we have the news media and things like that, but sometimes we don't understand. So actually, when I came to Europe for college, that really opened my mind, because I've always traveled to Asia, but I never went to Europe. So I had more of a European experience of understanding how they view things. So
how old were you when you came?
I was 19 when I moved. Yeah. So first time to Europe. Yeah. I thought I was just going to come for a semester abroad.
Yeah.
I finished, my 4-year college in 3 years, and, because I knew I wanted to get into real estate, and I knew my parents, saved a lot of money for me to go to school. I had some scholarship. I had a leadership scholarship that the school gave me. My mom was so surprised. No, it was more leadership stuff. It wasn't academic.
Still.
And my mom was like, "What? You got leadership scholarship?"
Scholarship.
And I said, "Hey, whatever worked." We didn't have ChatGPT to write those essays and stuff. So
No, it was tough.
yeah, it was tough. And coming from a school in the U.S., a public school where everything was multiple choices,
Yes.
coming to Europe, everything was essays.
So you have to
Yeah, so that was really hard. But yes, yeah.
No, it's different, absolutely. And you came so young as well. I grew up in Madrid as well when I was little, and you have that contrast. I mean, you were in the US, I was back to Peru.
Yeah.
And by learning a different culture, identifying, like when you're little, you just absorb everything.
Yep.
And when you're in college, you have a curiosity to explore life.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't give ourselves credit for everything we have gone through, but adaptation is so important.
Yeah.
Like these days everything is adapt or die kind of, so by having those skills early on in life, you do develop a muscle of like adjusting to different scenarios, different cultures, different groups of people.
Yeah.
And that is a plus, I think,
Yeah,
for business.
it is. And, I was talking to my children yesterday. I said, you have to try different things. They wanted the burger and the pizza. It's just the same thing. I was like, no, we're in Spain. Here's the octopus.
Yeah.
Try a bite. You have to try.
Yes.
Because or else you're just going to be doing the same thing over and over and you're not going to adapt. And it's culture. Like we're in a different country. You have to try what they experience, the ham, all that stuff that they're doing. Because we were at the fresh market and they was like, well, there's nothing to eat. I'm like, there's plenty of food here. Everyone's like munching on something, tapas and all that. Yeah, I mean, that's the culture. And, so yesterday we found a good tapas place and we ate and they enjoyed that. And
I love your aspect from family because it comes like 3 generations, right? You're talking about your kids, you're talking about your parents. In the US, it's not as easy as some people think caring for an elder or for somebody with disabilities.
Yeah.
So how has that impacted your life? Because it's a whole readjustment, especially if your parent cannot walk fully because it's you, your brother, your mom. And sometimes in the US, it's hard to have somebody at home full time. And
it is. I mean, in Asia is different because the you can hire people easily, for, taking care of different things. You can hire a driver, you can have a maid, and it's just harder to find that, especially where I'm at in Dallas and, the language, and it's just different. But at the same time this is our duty. Our parents took care of us as we grew up and we're just doing the same thing as they get older. And we did that with my grandmother. So she lived until 104. We moved her from Hong Kong at age 100. She's very independent, had 7 sons. So, and, she had a mini stroke. And I told her, like, Grandma, we've never had to take care of you. I said, let us, and she didn't want to burden us, even at age 100. And she told me, she doesn't want to, she said, she doesn't want to, means I don't want to burden anyone. And I said, it's not a burden. And so she said, okay. She still had a 10-year visa on her passport and got her over here. The immigration officer got out of the seat and greeted her and said, welcome to America. They've never seen someone fly at 100 internationally. And and then for some reason, the government gave her back her green card because she gave it back legally. She had a green card and she returned it I don't know, this was probably in her 70s. This was probably 30 years ago. And
so she went back home.
She went back to Hong Kong. Yeah, because she didn't adapt to the US. I mean, she relied on all of us to drive her around. She didn't want that. She likes to go get her fresh fish, fresh food. It's like, like in Europe, right? You just go to the market,
You walk.
and you walk a lot. Yeah.
Fresh food.
Yes. So, but yeah, so we had 4 generations and she got to see, my youngest daughter, was born and carry her and, hold her too. So she got to see my 3 children and, I don't know, having family is so important to me. I think when people ask me my why, it's my family. Growing up, my parents would send me to Hong Kong during my summer years. So out of all the 17 grandchildren, I speak more Chinese than majority of the other cousins that I have. And I just had, I don't know, I think just something when I go back to Hong Kong, I feel that it's another home.
Yeah.
And I take my children there because my wife is actually from Hong Kong.
Okay.
So my mother-in-law is still in Hong Kong. So we go back and I just show her the places I used to go as a kid and just remember those things because that's part of your life. That's like,
it's your identity. Right?
Yeah, it's our identity. It's our chapter. It's like we can go back to it and kind of share our kids, this is where I used to eat. This is where, I learned how to pick the fish and, make sure they cut the fish and make sure the heart's moving, the fresh fish. So,
fresh.
Yeah. So things like that. And, but yeah, I mean, I think, why is family, the business, if you're working hard, you got to work smart, surround yourself with the right people. My dad got sick in 06. My first marriage was failing in 07, and we had a financial crisis 08. So I had 3 years of just bombardment of just different things. And in 2008, my other friend in real estate said, hey, let's take this commercials CCI class. And I said, hey, I'll go to whatever right now. I mean, just to get out of the house.
Because when life
it just hits you so hard. It's like
times in a row, you're like, oh my God, when is this gonna end?
And then so went to CSAM class, met a lot of great people. Actually met my business partner Calvin at the class. That's how we met.
Oh, interesting.
And then because I take, that many years ago, 2008, and I take photos for fun.
Yeah.
And he was getting married, so I said, hey, I'll take your wedding pictures for fun. And that was it.
Yeah.
And my wife now, Stephanie, was at the wedding, and that's how we had a connection, like just as friends. Yeah. And then later on, we reconnected because of that.
Yeah.
Because of being serving and helping, and things come around when you serve without like intention.
Yes.
Right. Some people are like, well, I'm gonna do that to gain something. Like, no, I'm just like, hey, I'll just take pictures.
It's like even spirit and. Is the energy, I think, that what goes around comes around, and not because that is what happens. Yeah. You just do the right thing, but I mean, I identify so much with you, and I know the struggle that can be being in the U.S. with the elder parent or a disabled parent, because it's like you might have family that help, but the language barrier is huge, especially for our parents that probably didn't. Learn English, or they spoke a little bit English. So the caregiver has to be like matching that need, or will be like,
And that was the thing with my grandmother. That's why she didn't want to stay back in the U.S. because she didn't learn English, and so she went back to Hong Kong, and it was just much easier for her. My parents, my dad came when he was 18, so they speak English, but because of the stroke, he went back to Chinese. Yeah, it's so weird. So like.
Because your brain goes back to
the basic. Yeah, back to the basics. So, that was very strange. So he can speak a couple words coming out, but they're in Chinese. So it's weird.
Yes. No, because when stroke hits, it can hit any part of the brain.
Yeah.
Was the right side the one that was affected?
So he's paralyzed on the right, so his left brain was affected.
My mom too.
Yeah.
So the right side has always been difficult.
Yep.
She went through a full rehab, or like physical nonstop until she got better. But it's unfortunate, but at the same time, I feel like these lessons come in life and we don't see it at the moment because they're so hard to see, because it's very like this after that, and go doctors and taking your parent here, there, making sure that they don't fall. And
that's why we made a decision that instead of him trying to walk more, we put him on a scooter, because if he falls, it's even worse. So it's like, there's this, what's the right balance? And, when he was traveling in China, unfortunately, the hospital did not give them the blood thinners in time, because it's really critical when you have a stroke and things like that. You have to pay them first before they start off.
Exactly. And that's a healthcare part that we don't talk about too much, right?
Yeah.
And that's the same scenario almost everywhere outside the US, right?
Yes.
Like for the healthcare. And the moment of stroke and the hours within the right after are so critical.
Yep.
And that can make it or break it for a human being.
Yes.
And no, I totally understand that too. So it's like difficult to a point that you're like, why me?
Yeah.
And you don't see the why me until 2 years later.
Yeah.
But then I think these moments in life make you be more human and relate with others in a different, deeper way.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we're content creators, but we create content sometimes for the sake of it or for selling something. But in this case, we truly want to connect with somebody else for a specific message,
I agree.
or to help somebody else that is in our core family, our core business, our team.
Yes.
But it's because we truly see there's potential, and we truly see ourselves in them, or we see ourselves, 20 years ago, and it just I think opens your heart in a different way.
Yeah, it does. I mean, like, right now with the team, and just like you hear their stories and you hear their struggles, and we have our family dinners, our gatherings where we do the barbecue. They bring their kids and kind of understand what people are going through, and we even have a prayer group for our group, so I get to hear what they're their struggles, and it's just like, but God places you at the moment to connect with people.
Yeah.
I think as humans, we are not meant to be alone. Like, we have to be with people, and of course there's different personalities, and I'm a high I, so I need people that feels me. But there's other people who don't need it, but they still need a connection. Right? They don't need that many. Right? But you still need to have a connection, and I think that's important. As we go through life, as we build a team, as we, like in the future, like when people are, not here one day, what happens? As a group, we need to support their families. We need to make, it's not about like, hey, I'm just coming, you're just joining my team. It's their family.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
and so.
It's different when you run a business. We all want to make money, of course. You want real estate.
Yeah.
But it is different when you truly care for your team in a way that you want to share their stories, know where they're coming from, what they're going through right now, what they've gone through in the past. Because sometimes people don't understand. They're like, oh, that lady is just crazy. Or this one is just too much. And then you don't understand what the core pain in there.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on.
See what's going on. Because sometimes you and I are like, hey, let's go. And then we're like, literally sometimes we'll have a very difficult day and we're crying the inside.
Yeah.
But people see us, oh, you guys are always fun. Your life must be so easy. And we're like, oh, you just don't even know what you went through yesterday.
Yeah.
And my mom fell or anything. Like, it's like, you have to not masking it, but it's more like, we're going to show up every single day the best we can for our team, because people look up to us and we're like, well, we also are soft on the inside.
And that's the thing, is the pressure is, as we're growing our teams, people look up to us, and, it creates another, barrier. I mean, not barrier, it creates another like anxiety.
Responsibility.
Yeah, responsibility.
Like, show up every single day fully.
Yeah. And it's not easy.
You don't feel like it.
And as a leader, it feels lonely.
Yeah.
So I actually have another friend, Luann. She's out in California. She's in EXP as well. She's an Icon agent. And sometimes I text her and we're in different organizations, and I'm just telling her my struggles. Like, man, I just try to do this, and the struggles. And so you got to have that person you can just text sometimes and just keep you accountable and, encourage you.
Yeah.
Not agree. Like, yeah, you should just not be negative.
Yeah.
And then I met you. I met you last year in Portugal, and I'm like, man, this crazy lady. No,
this going like circles.
Yeah,
you can feel energy because as you go around, and you connect. You're like, yeah, you're as crazy as I am, because that's we're like gonna be friends, but that energy that is like, it takes an extra layer of effort times to just show up with a good face every single day, and be like, everything's gonna be right. One of it's whatever needs to get fixed, but then we need to take time off, because
I have to take time off, and
being on all the time is just hard.
It is.
In real estate.
It is. It's hard running the team, and then I'm taking 3 weeks off. I got conference for 3 days, and then the rest will be kind of family vacation, and it's much needed. I don't know if I shared. My wife had a stroke in November last year, so it was very odd. She's healthy, but she was on another like a hormonal, like birth control type pills.
Yes.
And we think that's the cause of the stroke, of the blood clot.
Yeah.
So fortunately, her blockage was not blocking oxygen. It was the clot was blocking the blood coming back to the heart. So, and she was just complaining about a headache, and I took her to the urgent care, gave her more pain meds. I took her to the ER next day, gave her more pain meds, got a CT scan, nothing came up. And then Tuesday night, I was upstairs on the phone, and my son was downstairs. My kids were downstairs, and he started screaming, "Mom's having a seizure." Called 911. I told him to run to the neighbor because the neighbor's a nurse. Yeah. My brother came over, paramedics came over. We took her to another hospital, to the ER, and they said she had a stroke. I'm like, what? And you know, when after the seizure, I was just kind of calming her down because she was just, and that was the first time she had any seizure like that. And and we didn't know what was going to happen. But after the seizure, she was okay, seemed to be okay. So I did not think of stroke.
Yeah.
And paramedics said it's not a stroke.
Mm-hmm. There are different types.
Yeah, yeah. So we didn't know. Now I have more knowledge. Even though my dad had a stroke, I know exactly what that was.
Seizure, what the fuck? Yeah. In case of emergency, right?
So, and so that had a scare. So she's still on blood thinners, and but she's traveling. I took her to Cabo in March, and then now she's here in Europe. So just blessed that, you know, like I said, life hits you in different things, and you know, and I want her to enjoy life and just not. She's an accountant, so she's very structured and organized, and she's a CPA, and you know, she knows that I have a passion for people, and she allows me to, you know, to be me, you know, and that's the best. And you know, relationships always are not easy, right? Because you got two people, different opinions, and just and how we raise our kids, and it's just different. But essentially, we work on it. It's a lot of work. Life is a lot of work.
Yes.
But don't give up on life and people. And you know, I always look at the good side of people, because we all have a good side. We all have a bad side. So if you want to focus on the bad side, that's your choice. But I choose to look at the good side, and anything we can help and elevate them, level up their life to be better. I think we have a responsibility to help people that way. Because
I feel it too. Yeah. And sometimes we think that, you know, the work that we do is like whatever. Sometimes we just get it done. Do the thing.
Well, because real estate is transactional, right?
It's very transactional.
Because you have contracts, got a dedeadline, got to close, got all this stuff. Whether it's commercial or residential, it's start to finish, right? Got to get done, you know.
But then at the same time, it's like the culture that you create within your team.
Yes.
The camaraderie, you know, like when you connect with each other, and the importance of community, as you say, and family. We treat our team as a family as well. That's when we connect. And we're like, we'll take care of our, you know, we have a new agent. We're co-sponsoring that agent, and we truly care as like a parent, you know, like, but not in a parent like in your child way. It's more like, let's support you the best we can so you can be successful and we all win. And I think that has been something that I've been connecting with other people with, because I feel like since I have this awakening in life, I don't do things just for the sake of it. I'm very spontaneous, and I go and do it. I'm like, you invite me to Rome, let's go. Yeah. Or let's go to Greece. I'm like, let's go. Tell me the dates. But at the same time, before my mom was cared for, we had to always plan ahead of time. What is going to be the care? Because, you know, caregiver doesn't quit. My mom's difficult to care for. So you have to plan all these things.
Yeah, my dad's too. My dad doesn't want people to shower him. He only wants me. We had a caregiver, and, you know, if he didn't like what she cooked, he wouldn't eat it. He's just very stubborn that way. Yeah. And it's not because it's what happened with a stroke. Yeah. Certain things are not connecting, and exactly. You know, and it's just hard.
Yeah, because you cannot take it on them. It's just sometimes their situation, and you have to understand and be super patient.
Yep.
Because you just don't know.
Yes.
If it's just them being difficult, or it's just something is not connecting.
Yeah.
And caring for a parent that is probably like your dad, like an alpha, or he knows what he wants, and he was running a whole bad family. Yeah. It's even harder, because at least if a parent is like, oh yeah, you know, it's super chill, but caring for a dominant parent, we'll call it.
Yeah.
It is super difficult, because we're trying to negotiate with them. Then you get upset with them, and you're like, why do you understand?
Yeah.
And you want to just throw everything against the wall. And there's some days that you're like, you just want to give up. You're like, I just don't know what's going on. Yeah. And you can't even take a minute, because you're still a caregiver. Yeah. So it's not like you can just run away and be gone for 2 months.
We can't, like this 3 weeks, my brother has to be there, and we take turns. We haven't had like a family trip all together. Unless, I bought them like a big Amazon van, like a Ford Transit, huge. And we took him to Disney World in Orlando. We drove from Dallas, and but I mean, he was okay, but it was still, we had to care. I mean, I didn't have time with the family because I'm carrying dad.
Yeah, because he's only one person.
So one day my brother was watching dad, so I go to the amusement park with the kids, and then vice versa. Yeah,
and you make it work with some sacrifices because it's not you can have it all.
Yes,
but that's why I value your time so much, because sometimes we don't see what other people have to go through to spend that 1 hour with you.
Yeah.
For a meeting, for a coffee.
Yeah.
And if they knew everything they had to put together in place, of course, when you have kids as well, but add some layers of complexity with parents.
Yeah, it is.
That
very complex.
For you to show up to a lunch, even, with a new realtor, a new person, a new partner, it's like people don't see everything that has to align. It's like the stars need to align to have that moment. And these 3 weeks that you're here.
I mean, like on Thursday, actually no, let's see, on Thursday I cut his hair. So I cut it shorter because I'm not going to see him in 3 weeks. Cut his nails, get everything done. I said, you're all done. So my brother is like, he just has to, shower him and stuff. Yes, that's all. So I told my brother, like, I already got all that stuff done. So. Yes. But
yeah. I truly value that, who you are as a person.
Thank you.
Because sometimes you don't tell your story, so we have to pull it out with some strength.
It's hard, and
it's hard to
I do a lot of pictures, and that's kind of my shield. I mean, I'm outgoing, but I'm also an introvert.
Yeah.
Right. So we have a bubbly personality, but at the same time, it's like it's the people we know. If we don't know you, it's like
exactly. Networking events to me are very difficult because I'm like, unless I know you, I'm like, and then open up the conversation.
Harder to open up, I guess.
Open up from the call, and like, I need some people in my team that are more extroverted to go, and then they go like, hey, you should be Nathaly, or like probably you might have some people in your team that are like that. And when you're that person, you have to like put yourself out of your comfort zone. Is what we do every day. It's being like on the go all the time. It's not as easy, but we kind of like activate it right away because we need to get it done, and we only have like certain amount of time because we need to go and care for our parents. Because it's not like we have all day and we can chill on the beach, and it's
not like we compare ourselves with other people.
No.
If someone has a great life because they have that, that's great. That's part of their chapter.
Journey.
That's their journey. And but at the same time, they're gonna go through other things too.
Yeah.
Right. We all do. We all have a story. We all go through our different struggles. And at the same time we're just if we ever get connected with that person, that's where we connect.
There's intersection.
Yeah. There's gonna be intersection somewhere. So.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful that I wanted to connect on this topic because we talk about a ton about real estate and we're connected to the real estate, but it is the human part that connects us with our teams. And in this case, I wanted to just chat about that team building and difference in cultures and different in care, because different cultures have different care systems for their parents. Some people use their parents, to the system and hope for the best. And at least in our cultures, they're, Chinese and Peruvian, so Latino. So that comes imply that you care for your parents.
Yep.
But it's not everybody takes the same type of responsibility or hands-on care. But I think these early lessons in life, shape you in a way that the hard part is almost behind.
Yeah.
And everything forward, I feel it's like quality time. You appreciate your time much more. It's like every minute is golden.
Yeah.
That you spend with your family, that you spend here, and even with your team, like the ways they get supported and the way you care. Because I think there's a saying that is, people don't care how much you know, they care about how much you care.
Yeah.
And they will feel it.
Yeah, I agree. I think, the team understands, how much, effort I put in, and, I tell them it's not, they know it's not about rev share.
Yeah.
They know it's not, they know that I generally, want to build something, to create something. It's really for our children. I'm building a network of people. I call, you like an auntie, but then, eventually like other people who have kids, our kids get to connect. They get to have a leadership, meet up, and and, there's going to be like leadership like stuff that we're going to be doing, and then when I'm not here one day, hopefully the other kids will come for my kids, and they'll have a network of people to come for them. So
I like the reason that we started the real estate tours and everybody's invited to those tours is to the community.
Yeah.
People can connect with each other because the last tour that we just had in Portugal, there's the transactions, there's the metaverse, there's everything online that we can do right now. But unless you have the human experience for 1 to 4 to 7 days, which we just finished the Portugal one, for 7 days, guess what? We get to know each other very well.
Very well.
Like how impatient you are, what tics you, what's your personality like under pressure.
Yes.
And
those travels. So even in college, I remember that to the academic travels. Even through the Asian Real Estate Associations, we did travel to Asia, and we had 60 people, and you have 60 people in a hotel trying to get everything, and you're in the bus together for 2 weeks. Yes, you get to know them. And I met a lot of great friends that way. And I look forward in doing the same thing with our team when we do our leadership retreats, or maybe we'll fly to Cancun, visit, or whatever, and Tulum, and just have a good time together. Not just the business time that we see each other in the office, or events that we do, but actually like talk about life, like just like you and I, back to the human connection. And it's very important, so
YouTube retreats and real estate tours will be busy in the next few years. But I'm
we can do one in Hong Kong, we can do one in Asia.
I've been in Asia but not in Hong Kong, and I think you need to go with somebody that knows it, where to go. I love doing local stuff. I don't like going to the touristic route. You just go to all the touristic places. I'm like, you're local, where should I go? Or let's go together, families together or the team. And then just get to discover different places and, type of business. How do you do real estate in different places? That's the most important thing for me, because unless I understand how the culture here in Spain works, what are the challenges and difficulties, the benefits too, some tax breaks, you just don't understand from a book. You can take the CIPS class, but just know that when that's only like 2% of everything else you need to know about international real estate. And just being there, immerse is the only way.
You have to immerse. You got just like in our business, you got to immerse in it. You got to be 100% committed. When you go to another country, you got to understand their history. Because they all go through different histories. So.
And they have different personalities, and they're certain way for a reason. For the commercial real estate part and residential, just to wrap it up, for different cultures and the commercial side, because we always talk about residential, how do you think is different, Asia from the US, from Europe, from that commercial perspective, in your opinion? Like, how is it different? How is it similar?
I mean,
the opportunities are in place.
Well, commercial, it's a different animal, but it's also developing, because you have the residential component coming in, and when there's more residential development, there's going to be a commercial component, right? So we always follow the residential trend, right? That's important, because if there's no residential, there's no people.
You need people for commercial.
Yes, you need people for commercial, and of course adapting, right? We had a lot of people. The office industry was, severely hurt through the pandemic, and then of course logistics, like Amazon, all this, getting this on your app. So warehousing, industrial logistics is a big boom right now, and just moving stuff. It really changed how we as consumers look at things and want things. But going back to that human connection, we still want to come out and have food. We still want to have that connection. So entertainment for the retail is important also. So that's in any country. The retail side, still need to get your hair done. Right? You can't do that. Nails too. Things like that. You can't do that at home. So anything is service related, it's going to do well in the retail commercial side. Hospitality, of course, has changed. When you have, there's regulations on Airbnb, Booking.com, and things like that. But that was another business that started in 2009, and it's really changed the industry, how we do things. I'm at an Airbnb. We're at a hotel here, very great place. But at the same time, I like to have my own space, my own kitchen, things like that. So it's just for different people.
right.
Yeah.
And it's necessary to be had because
Yes.
otherwise not everybody likes the same thing.
Yep.
First of all, I don't like hotel rooms. They're too small.
Yeah.
And they don't have a kitchen.
Laundry, things like that. And then, going back to commercial, you got large corporations, institutional capital.
Yeah.
You have people who, work hard that save money, but they don't know where to invest, right? So, there's so many things where you can group money together to go into a project. And, it doesn't have to be a new development because, it could be an existing property where you have tenants in place. So there's a lot of things on the commercial end, there's a lot of knowledge. And we have an opportunity to share this knowledge to other residential agents because their clients might be in a business that they need commercial, right? If they have a job somewhere, there's a commercial building.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Or a business.
Yeah.
So,
the way that you help your team these days is mostly in the training side of like how leverage residential into the commercial space. Will you?
Yeah, so I think we're very unique because I used to have two franchises. I had a commercial franchise and a residential franchise. So I couldn't understand where a residential agent was thinking. A lot of them may not want to go full-time commercial. They just want to have some knowledge.
Yeah.
So by knowing that their leaders and their group has a commercial backing, they can go to their clients like, hey, I have a team that does commercial versus like, they don't know what to do. And then for agents that want to learn commercial, there's different tracks to get their commercial designations and just to get the education they need. They got to build their foundation. Just because you're a top producer in residential doesn't mean that you're going to learn commercial right away and understand it. Yeah. You still got to go through
the
motions.
The one thing is learning in the book and the other thing is actually doing it.
Yes.
And with you, they can actually...
And every deal is different. Every deal is so different.
There's not like a house, that you just check the kitchen and the bathroom. Is the P&L and if it makes sense financially.
If you're representing a tenant, does this location work for the next 5 years? There's so many things to it.
Analysis,
That's gonna be a different video.
And if you can reach out to Daniel for anything that has to do with commercial knowledge because you're very kind to share all this with your team.
Well, because I also want to take the time to share. There's a lot of commercial brokers they're really focused. I mean, even residential. There's a lot of residential top producers that they don't have time to think about that. And so I think that's kind of my superpower where I want to take the time and I want to give back this way and want to, help any way I can. How do I scale it? That's another story. I'm learning that from you guys with the Wolfpack and how to scale things, create an academy, maybe create a commercial academy.
Oh, great.
So there's a lot of things to learn and just excited for the opportunity to partner up and just serve and just grow together. So
this is amazing. Thanks for opening up with us.
Yes.
We talk about commercial real estate and personal stuff because I feel like if people want to connect with you, now they know you a little more.
Yeah.
And it's not only that he's super smart about commercial deals and helping the team getting into commercial because I do understand that commercial is a very enclosed field that before used to be safe for certain type of people and nobody else could come in.
Well, I mean, some saying when the U.S. we used to call it like the good old boys club, and when my father was in it, he was pretty much the only Asian guy at these conferences, and he would wear a cowboy hat, so he was the Chinese cowboy. So people remember that, and
Chinese from Texas.
Chinese from Texas, that's right.
I definitely remember.
Very rare.
Yeah. No, that's amazing because you've gone such a long way, not only on the learning, but also on the standing out.
Yes.
And the knowledge that you have to share is amazing. So where can people find you online? And we'll put your links on the description.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you also...
Yeah, I mean, you can find me on LinkedIn, Daniel Eng. Instagram is Daniel Eng TX or Engvest Group on Instagram. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for getting.
Thank you, Nathaly.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll share his links on the description so you have them. You can follow him and also connect with him for anything that has to do with commercial real estate in the US, but also Europe.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ciao. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Investment Nomad podcast. I hope today's episode has inspired you to explore new horizons in global real estate. Remember, the world is full of opportunities waiting to be discovered. And with the right insights, you can turn those opportunities into successful investments. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us bring you the best content possible. Don't forget to follow us in social media for more resources and updates. Until next time, my friends, this is Nathaly Salas, encouraging you to think big, invest globally, and transform your real estate journey. Safe travels and happy investing.